One of the big advancements with the new Google Pixel 7 and Google Pixel 7 Pro is the new GPU. And Google talked about how this new GPU can actually speed up and improve the user camera experience. One of the areas that they specifically talked about was the speed of processing photos. The second was the ability to go ahead and have the speech enhancement with 4K video. So I'm doing this right now on the brand new ultra-wide camera of the Google Pixel 7 Pro, and let's see how much faster the Google Pixel 7 Pro is at processing photos. Because I think this might be one of the big features or one of the standout features that users would be able to notice in day-to-day life and actually be a possible reason to upgrade, especially if you take a lot of photos and video. Okay, so here's a traditional Vietnamese cemetery. Let's take 10 photos and see which one is done processing faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, that definitely looks like it's a RAM difference because the Google Pixel 6 would not take the full 10 photos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So neither device would. So I started off this test with an action panning shot test to see if I would notice a difference in processing speed of the action panning shots, which one was faster, or if there was much of a noticeable difference between the Pixel 7 Pro and my Pixel 6. Because the 7 Pro and the 6 have identical main camera hardware. Any differences that we would have should come down to the differences in Tensor Generation 2 versus Tensor Generation 1, and any differences that we might have with the ISP and GPU. And this was a kind of a big disappointment because when Google launched the Pixel 7 and the Pixel 7 Pro, they said,
Tensor G2's new ML denoiser, night sight is now twice as fast.
Now, being a techie, I understood that Tensor Generation 2 was going to have a different GPU than Tensor Generation 1, and we could infer that these claims from Google were coming down to the fact that the GPU in Tensor Generation 2 was the reason for these increases in speed and image processing for things like night mode, which is essentially a multi-frame first shot that then compresses these images into one single image, blends them, takes stuff out, and kind of just does some of this magic. This should mean that we can infer that other aspects of photography on the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro should be faster and smoother. But in this instance, I noticed no difference in action pan. So then I wanted to test out and see how quickly the Pixel 7 Pro could process some long exposure shots. And so I tested the Pixel 7 Pro long exposure modes versus the Google Pixel 6 to see if I could notice much of a difference. And when I got both devices side by side with the same exposure lengths, I noticed that the Pixel 7 Pro wasn't processing these long exposure photos really noticeably more rapidly than the Pixel 6. And it certainly wasn't even close to the claims that Google made, with it being twice as fast for low light capture or for night mode. Next up, we did a portrait mode comparison because portrait mode uses a lot of Google's machine learning to go ahead and cut out the subject and create that artificial blur that we've come to expect from Google's excellent portrait mode. I had my beautiful wife be the model for me, and again, we took a ton of photos in different lighting conditions, and the performance difference between the Pixel 6 and Pixel 7 Pro in regards to processing was imperceivable, as you guys can see. Now, what is not imperceivable is the difference between you liking this video, because liking on YouTube is the most important metric that Google uses for the algorithm. And if you absolutely love the content here, sharing it or hitting the subscribe button would absolutely make my day. Now, it is worth noting that both devices have been updated to the newest software and the most recent software. Now, the Pixel 6 is running on Android 13 Developer Preview 2, which is the newest firmware available for it. So either Google is grossly overestimating the performance gains from Tensor Generation 2 and the new GPU in the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro, or Android 13 Developer Preview 2 for the Pixel 6 has increased the speed of the camera processing. But I have a hard time believing that an unreleased beta software would have such a significant difference in the overall capture speed and processing time of imaging on the Google Pixel 6. And really, if you were expecting the Pixel 7 Pro to be a transformative difference in regards to the speed of processing photos and whatnot, you're definitely not going to notice this side by side with a Pixel 6 and Pixel 7. Although Tensor Generation 2 does offer some significant benefits in regards to video, 4K video capture with the clear voice, as you guys could hear at the intro, I'm not seeing that big of a difference in night mode capture speed. I'm not seeing that big of a difference in just overall image processing speed. And overall, the experience is pretty good, but it is nowhere near what Google claimed it to be. And it really feels like Google lied about the speed of this. Welcome to my TED Talk. Thanks for coming. Peace.